Okay, so today we are going to focus on levels of software testing. Okay, so there are 4 types of levels. One is unit testing, and second one is integration testing, and third one is system testing, and the fourth one is UAT testing. UAT, we can simply call it as user acceptance testing. User acceptance testing. Now, first of all, I'm going to explain the unit testing. Unit testing. See, unit testing is nothing but we can simply call it as a single module or single component, a single module or single component. Okay, so for module, we can call it as units or components. Okay, so we have different types of module. This is one module and this is one module. Okay, for this one, we can call it as modules or we can call it as component. Here, what we are going to do, see, the developers, they are going to perform unit testing. Okay, unit testing will be performed by the developers and the single component or single modules. Okay, single component or single modules, the developers, they are going to perform unit testing. So what they are going to do in unit testing? See, unit testing is nothing but see, once the development is completed, the developers are completed the development. So they are checking the coding, whether the coding is working fine or not. And also they are going to perform whether the functionality is working fine or not. Okay, so simply I'm going to take, this is my application. Okay, this is my application. So in this application, they are going to check. See, they are going to deploy one application. Like I have a courses dropdown. So whenever I'm clicking on Java, so Java related courses are displaying. Okay, whenever I'm clicking on manual testing, manual related course. See, like this, if they are clicking on these buttons, the functionality is working as expected or not, they are going to perform unit testing. Okay, so they are checking in the back end. I think you guys remember in the white box testing I was explained. So in the back end, what they are checking? So in the back end, they are checking the line by line coding. Line by line coding, they are checking in the back end and the white box testing. Now, here comes under unit testing, they are checking the front end application also. They are checking the front end application. Whenever these guys are clicking on these things, so these things are working fine or not, they are going to checking in the front end. Okay, in the front end, they are going to perform this unit testing. Okay, on the development environment. Okay, before moving it to testing environment, the developers are, they are going to perform unit testing on the development side, on the development environment. They are checking line by line code, they are going to check, and also they are going to checking the front end. So whenever these flows are working as per the requirement or not. Okay, so these things are done by the developers in the backend. Okay, you guys are clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'm going to provide some of the points for unit testing. A unit is a single component or module of a software. Unit is a single component or we can call it as single module. Okay. Unit testing conducts on a single program or a single module. Okay. So here we are going to perform on the single module, each and every module. Okay. At a time we are not integrating. We are going to perform single module testing. They are going to perform unit testing. Okay. And unit testing is a white box testing technique. Unit testing is a white box testing technique. And the developers conduct unit testing. Okay, developers are going to perform this unit testing. Okay, as of now, anybody have any questions, guys? Is this clear with the unit testing? Okay, and the next one, integration testing. Okay, now we are going to perform integration testing. Integration testing, now you guys can see we have a module 1, module 2 and module 3. I'm going to mention the names, M1 and M2 and M3. Okay, now you guys can see here they have performed unit testing. Here they are going to perform unit testing, and here they are also going to perform unit testing. Now what they are doing, they are going to integrate the modules. They are going to integrating the modules. Okay, this module is integrating and this module also integrating, and here also we are going to integrate. Okay, now here we have completed this module testing, and this module testing and the unit testing. Now we need to focus on integration testing. Integration means this area you guys need to focus. Okay, between two modules you guys need to verify the integration testing. Okay, so what we can test in the integration testing? So what we can test in the integration testing means nothing but checking the data communication between these two modules. Data communication between these two modules and these two modules. Okay, so what is might be data communication? Data communication is nothing but see, you have provided some data. Okay, so you have provided some data. So for suppose I'm giving one example here. I think you have a one banking account. So in that banking account, you have provided your user ID and your password, and you guys are clicking on login here. So this is a login module, and this is a your bank home screen. Okay, now what will happen? Here you have provided username and password. Now you guys are clicking on here. The page is redirecting to here. Means whatever the username and whatever the password you guys have provided here. So with this related information is displaying here or not, we are going to check. Okay, data communication between two modules is nothing but here we are entering something, so that related data is displaying on the second page or not, we need to verify. Okay, or otherwise I'm giving one more scenario. So we can say that this is a search form and this is a something results page. Okay, this search form, what I am going to do is, for suppose you guys can take one example booking Abibus page. So in the Abibus page, you have selected from date and to date, and so from and to. Okay, now you guys are clicking on here. So from you have selected Hyderabad, and 2 you have selected some Bangalore. Okay. Now date you have selected, so 5th of October. Okay. Now you guys are searching, then here the result should be displayed. So 5th and also that related buses. Means data communication between two modules. The data is communicating. So whatever the data we have searched and that related results are displaying or not, we need to verify here. Okay. So, and the integration testing is also we can call it as white box testing technique. So here the developers, they are going to perform this integration testing on the development side, and testers, they are going to perform testing on testing environment. Okay. Developers, they are integrating these two modules and they are checking the integration is properly working or not in the development environment, and testers, they are going to verify the integration is properly working between these multiple modules or not. The testers, they are going to perform in the testing environment. Okay, guys, you guys are understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is called, we can simply call it as integration testing. Okay, and sometimes if you guys can see, if I'm going to click on tabbing sequence, there is a tabbing sequence also we are going to test. So you all are not tab in the keyboard.
Yes.
Okay, if I'm going to click on tab, so you guys can see where the application is highlighting. Okay, I think it is not working here. I'm going to show. See, tabbing sequence should be work like in row wise. Okay, now I'm going to click on tab. I think here what is happening. Okay, now you guys can see. You guys can see what is happening. So tabbing is working right like this.
Yes.
So I'm clicking on here. So I'm clicking on tab. Now this is working like this. Okay. So we need to verify the tabbing sequence also in the integration testing, whether the tabbing sequence also working fine or not. Okay. And in this one, so the developers are, they are going to perform like top down approach and bottom up approach, and also there is a sandwich or hybrid approach. The developers, they are going to perform in the backend. Okay. So guys, as a manual testers, we did not require what is top down, what is bottom up approach, and what is sandwich approach. Okay. So the developers, they are going to use, so there are some temporary files are there. There are some temporary files they are going to use. We can call it as stub and driver. Okay. Stub and driver, they are going to use in the bottom up approach and top down approach. Okay, so why they are going to use the top down and bottom up approach? So why they are going to use the temporary files in the application means, see, for suppose one module is completed and one module is not completed. Okay, this module is completed and this module is still in progress. So in that time, they are going to do, so in this place, they are going to replace the temporary files. They are going to use temporary files. Just a second, guys. They are going to use a temporary files. The temporary files we can call it as stubs and drivers. See, stubs where they are going to use, we can call it as one is a called function and one is a calling function. One is a called function and one is a calling function. I'm giving the definition here. Okay, stubs and we can call it as drivers. Okay, stubs is nothing but a stubs are used in top-down approach. Okay, we are using stubs in top-down approach. Top-down integration testing. Okay, and stubs we can call it as stubs are basically known as called functions or programs and are used in the top-down integration testing. Okay, so these are the stubs. Okay, now drivers. Okay, drivers we can call it as drivers are used in bottom up integration testing. Okay, and drivers are basically known as calling programs and are used in the bottom up integration testing. Okay, see guys, sometimes they are going to ask what is stub and what is driver in the interface. Okay, so that is the reason I'm explaining this concept. Otherwise, this stubs and driver concept is not required for our testing team because of, see, these stubs and drivers we are not going to use. Stubs and drivers used by the developers whenever they don't have these modules. Okay, I think who is left? Naresh is left. Okay, fine. Okay, they don't have a completed modules, then they are going to use these temporary files. Okay, stub and drivers we can simply call it as temporary files. Okay, clear, Amit?
Yes, sir. Clear.
You have any questions?
No questions. Sir, even in integrate automation testing also will be using this, right? Stubs and drivers.
Yeah, so that is related to code, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can use.
Okay.
Okay, now integration testing performed between two or more modules. Two or more modules. Integration testing focuses on checking data communication between multiple modules. Naresh, are you clear with the integration testing?
Yes, sir.
So see, I'm giving one more example. So you can see this stub and drivers, both we are using by the developers only. We are not going to use as a tester. We can see front end application, back end application, we cannot see. The developers also, they are using these stub and driver. We can simply call it as temporary files. Temporary files means nothing but this module is completed. This module is still in progress, but they need to do integration. So in this place, they are using the stub or driver. That depends on if they are using top-down approach. So in that place, they are going to use stubs. If they are using bottom-up approach. So top-down, bottom-up approach is nothing but see, I have a top to down. So this is M1 module, and this is M2 module. Okay. Now my M1 module is completed, but M2 module is still in progress. Okay. Now M1 module I have. So in this M2 place, they are going to use stubs. They are going to use stubs. Okay. See, at the same time, bottom up approach. Bottom up means nothing but here M1 module. So here M2 module. Okay. Now M1 module is completed, M2 module is still in progress. Now they are using this module as you, this is a completed module, and here in this place they are going to use the calling function. Calling program is nothing but a drivers. They are using drivers temporary files. Once the integration testing is completed with these two modules, the temporary files automatically are removed. The temporary files automatically removed. Okay. So that is the reason the developers are using in the backend the temporary files. Okay. And integration testing is a white box testing technique. Okay. And also integration testing conducted by the testers at the application level. Okay, we can simply call it as at the UI level. UI level. We are going to perform front end application. Okay, integration testing conducted by the developer at the coding level. Okay, so both developers and testers are going to perform integration testing. Testers are performing at the UI level and developers are performing at the coding level. Okay, so here I mentioned, so there are different types are there. So like integration testing, we have top-down approach, bottom-up approach, and also sandwich approach. Sandwich approach is nothing but both we can merge a stub and driver. We can simply call it as sandwich approach. Okay, so this is integration testing. Okay, anybody have any questions as of now? Guys, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The next concept will be system testing. Okay. System testing. What we are going to perform in system testing? Okay. System testing is nothing but so we are going to perform overall functionality testing. Okay. Overall functionality of the application. For suppose, see, this is the my application. So in this application, I have only 3 modules. Okay. Now in these 3 modules, what we are going to do? So as per the requirement, we are going to complete this module, and we are going to complete this module, and we are going to complete this module. See, in system testing, we are mainly focusing on black box testing technique. We are going to following black box testing techniques. See, in black box testing, what we are going to do? So we are receiving the requirement from the customer and we are going to perform analyzing the requirements. After analyzing the requirements, we guys need to find out valid inputs and invalid inputs. And after that, open the application in the testing environment. We can enter invalid valid inputs. Successful messages are displaying or not, we need to verify. Whenever we are providing invalid inputs, error messages are displaying or not, we can able to perform in the black box testing technique. So here also in system testing also, we need to perform the end-to-end flow application testing. Okay. Now see, initially how we are going to develop the application? Module wise, we are going to develop the application. Once the module is completed, so we are going to perform integration testing. Now integration testing we have done in the last concept. Now we are going to perform system testing, the overall application functionalities. The overall application functionalities means nothing but a from starting module to the ending module, each and every functionality is working fine as per the customer requirement or not. We are going to perform this system testing. Okay, so in this we are going to perform like usability testing, and we are going to perform UI testing, GUI testing, like all the UIs are properly displaying or not, like field alignments, images are properly displaying or not, is there any spelling mistakes? Okay, so is there any overlapping issues? Everything we are going to perform, and this application is user friendly or not, whether the given application is user friendly or not. Okay, so in this system testing, we are going to perform both functional and non-functional testing as well as. Okay, we are going to perform functional and non-functional testing. Okay, functionality requirements, whatever the requirements are customer has given, as per the customer requirement, all the functionalities are working fine. Okay, as per the customer requirement, non-functional requirement. Non-functional means nothing but a so usability testing, compatibility testing, and also we are going to perform security testing and the performance testing. Each and everything is working fine or not, we are going to perform in the system testing. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Naresh, are you clear? See, here what will happen? Again, I'm going to explain one more time. See, there are different types of module. First, we are going to perform module-wise testing. So module-wise, we have completed our testing. And after the developers are integrating these modules, and we have done the integration testing between different types of modules. Now integration testing is completed. Now we are going to perform end-to-end flow application testing. So end-to-end application testing is nothing but a as per the customer requirement, the application flow is working fine according to the customer requirement or not. We are going to perform the end-to-end flow testing. Okay, so this is called system testing. Okay, now I'm going to give some notes. Testing the overall functionality of the application with respect to the client requirements. Okay, it is a black box testing technique. Is a black box testing technique. The testing team conducts system testing. Okay, here we are only performing system testing. After completion of component is nothing but a unit testing, guys. Unit and integration we start system testing. Now we have completed unit testing for each and every module, and after that we have completed integration testing, and finally we are performing this system testing. Okay, and system testing is focus on the below aspects. Okay, system testing is focuses on the below aspects. Okay, that is functional testing, non-functional testing. Okay, and usability and GUI, graphical user interface. Okay, simply we can call it as GUI. Okay, so this is comes under system testing. You guys are clear with this one?
Yes,
Next
sir.
one. The fourth one is user acceptance testing. UAT, we can simply call it as. Okay, so in UAT testing, so see here mainly performed by the end users. UAT testing will be performed by the end users. Okay, what they are going to perform? So whatever the expectations they have, so like what is the customer requirement they have provided, as per their requirements, as per their expectations, the application is working fine or not, they are going to perform this user acceptance testing. Okay, so here in user acceptance testing there are two types of testings are there. One is alpha testing and one is beta testing. Okay, alpha testing is nothing but from our side. Okay, so from our side, the testers we are performing in our developers environment the user acceptance testing. We can simply call it as alpha testing. Okay, now comes under beta testing from the customer side. So from the customer point of view, there is some UAT testing peoples are there, UAT QA testers are there from UAT environment. They are going to perform UAT testing on client side. So those peoples we can simply call it as beta testing. Okay, so what mainly they are focusing is nothing but so they mainly focusing on whether we can accept the application or we can reject the application. Okay, so most of the times what will happen, so they are accepting the application. See in real time what is happening, so our testing part is completed. Once our testing part is completed, so we are going to provide that particular sprint demo to the customer. So whatever the functionalities we have completed in that particular sprint, we are going to explain to the customer, and the customer again they are going to provide, they are going to perform some testing. While giving the demo, they are going to ask some questions. Okay, if they have any question, they are going to ask the questions, and finally we are delivering to the UAT environment. Now the UAT peoples they are going to perform testing on that particular tickets. Okay, once their testing is completed, if they found any issues, they are reporting to us. We can call it as UAT bugs. Okay, they find out some UAT bugs, and they are giving as a, we can simply call it as feedbacks. The customers are, they are going to provide the feedbacks from the customer point of view. Okay, so here guys, acceptance is nothing but a, whether they can accept or they can reject the application. Okay, so when they can accept, whenever we have developed the application as per their requirement, then only they are going to accept the application. If they are going to reject the application, that means if whatever the expectations they had given, those expectations we are not reaching, then only they are going to reject the application. Okay, so this is called UAT testing, user acceptance testing. Okay, and this testing when we can perform, once unit testing, integration testing, and also system testing, all these testing types are completed, and the final stage they are going to perform UAT testing. I think already explained environments for all of you. You know, you guys are remember Naresh and Amir.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
both
sir.
are in. So what we have done, so environments, one stage is completed, then we are moving it to
Other
next stage.
steps.
First development stage, testing stage,
Unit test.
and after that we are moving it to
UAT.
customer stage. Okay, so this type of testing we are going to perform in the user acceptance. See, here also we can able to perform UAT testing, but so whenever the customer is asking, so you guys need to perform UAT testing, then only we are going to perform UAT testing. Otherwise, the customers only they are going to perform UAT testing. So even if they are asking, you guys need to perform UAT testing, we can perform UAT testing in our developers environment. Okay, customer environments we cannot perform UAT testing because of from customer side there is a UAT team members are there. Okay, clear? If you guys are not clear, please let me know so that I can explain. User acceptance testing is a type of testing performed by the end user or the client to verify or accept the software system before moving the software application to the production environment. Okay, once the UAT team members are perform testing, everything is working fine, then only we are moving it to production environment. Okay, so UAT is done in the final phase of testing after unit integration, unit functional integration, and system testing is done. Okay, so unit testing, UAT testing, there are two types. Here there are two types of UAT. Okay, so one is we can call it as alpha testing, and one is we can call it as beta testing. One is alpha testing and one is beta testing. Okay, alpha testing generally, alpha testing is performed in our side as per client environment. Post alpha testing, the software is ready for deployment into client environment. Okay, see, alpha testing, beta testing, I explained a separate class. You guys are remember? In the sanity testing also I explained one example. Amit and Naresh both are remember? Okay, so beta testing done in the client side where whole system is tested as per the client environment. Generally, beta and alpha testing done by two separate teams. Largely, it is done by team who is functional, user of that software. As a QA team, we assist them as per request from the client. Okay, as from request from the client, we are just assisting. See, assisting is nothing but a guys. Once our testing is completed, so we are giving the applications to the customer. Now customers are identifying some issues. Okay, they are discussing with us. Okay, so this is the issue we have found. Okay, see, if sometimes they are unable to understand some of the things, okay, they are going to ask us, we are going to explain. Okay, and sometimes they are going to raise the defects in the UAT. Okay, those defects we are going to the development team, they are going to fix, and we are going to retesting, and again we are promoting to customer anyway. Okay, so this is the way as a QA team we are going to assist to the this particular UAT team members. Okay, is this clear? Yes, sir, understand levels of testing? Are still any confusion?
Clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Okay, see guys, if you have